So after the weekend, it is in City's hands now. The assumption, Tom, seems to be in many quarters that once they get their noses in front, it'll then just be a procession through for Manchester City. Are you seeing it that way?
I'm not seeing it that way. I think City's fixtures are a little bit harder, but I just think we've just seen it time and time again when Man City get in the business end of the season. Big players, obviously a big manager, they just turn up and they just know how to get the job done. I mean, it was one of the best games of the season at the weekend. I mean, I've seen people complaining about Premier League games sometimes of late that they're a little bit the same or boring, but the weekend had everything. It was it was a pleasure to watch. And City, I fully expect them to win at home, but Arsenal, they got beat, but they got beat with their boots on, as my old manager Steve Bruce used to say. They came to play, and do you know what? They could have got something from the game. I know they're still getting a little bit stick because they still lost, but they really did fight in the game. And I expect City to go and win the league now, but yeah, it's been some fall from Arsenal considering the position they was in.
And you mentioned the fixtures there. Arsenal's final 5 are all against bottom half teams, whereas City, 4 of theirs that remain, are still against sides chasing European football, Sue. So the fixtures seem to favour Arsenal, you could argue. If City are to slip up, where might that happen? I'm teeing you up to talk about the Everton game.
You are, and I thought you were. We actually had this conversation before. Did. Yeah, we did. Yeah. Well, I just think when you look at the games that Manchester City have got, there is difficult games, isn't there? And this might not be the most popular opinion, but I still think it's 50-50. I think, of course, it was a huge psychological boost for Manchester City to beat Arsenal, but I just think there's still loads and loads of football to be played and tough games for both of them. There's been games that we've watched and we've said, you expect them to win, and that doesn't always happen. So I think just looking at those fixtures, of course, Everton springs to mind, but it's a tough run, isn't it? And Arsenal are quite capable of going through all of those and winning them, so Manchester City. So I just think we've got to take it, sound like a manager now, don't I, every game, one game at a time, yeah. But I think we have to do that. I still do think it is 50-50.
Yeah. Since Arteta took over in 2019, Joby, his team have been top of the league for 539 days, 86 days more than Manchester City in that time, and yet City have won 4 titles and Arsenal haven't. Sue says she still thinks it's 50-50, but if Arsenal don't win it this season, would you have concerns for them in future seasons?
I think the psychological impact of that will be so hard to get over. I think more so for Mikel Arteta, I think. And I think 2 things can be true, Jules. He's done a magnificent job at that football club, just hasn't been able to get them over the line, and this will be the biggest disappointment. Of course it will, given, what a lead they had at a certain point of the season, but I just see I'd have Manchester City more than 50-50 at this stage, just because of that experience, that know-how. Arsenal are tight. I know they played well the other day, and that's the noise that's coming out. But actually, if there was ever a game for them to not play well and win, which is what they've done all season, that was it against Manchester City, and they weren't able to win against them. So I just think we talk about big players stepping up, and this is where I've got a bit of sympathy for Mikel Arteta, because ultimately you've got 2 really well-matched teams, full of top players. The Manchester City players have come to the party in recent weeks. Cherki, Semenyo's been a fantastic signing. Haaland getting his goal. Then I look across and I see, right, what Arsenal players are really turning up and making a difference in these massive games that will decide the title. Not enough. So ultimately that's what it will come down to for me, and I think City will go on and win it.
Yeah, and Tom mentioned before, time after time we see City turn up at this time of the season. April, they've got this amazing record in the month of April under Pep Guardiola, Michael. But City's players, Cherki, Guéhi, Semenyo, Kusanov, O'Reilly, this is new for them. But then you've got the old heads of Rodri, who doesn't play tonight, and Bernardo Silva, who it feels like, talk about turning up to the party at the right time. He might be leaving the club in a few weeks' time, but he seems to be stepping forward right now.
Outstanding, but you touched on all those. Kusanov, he stepped up. Mark Guéhi was a no-brainer. Semenyo, 2 players that knew the Premier League going into the top end. Brilliant. But this man, the experience, the know-how, the leader, the guy that they all look up to, the dictator, he just, I mean, and Cherki's come in and just been a breath of fresh air. He's gone through periods. But when he's alongside Rodri, the pair of them two in the centre of the park, and unfortunately for the Premier League and Manchester City, Bernardo is leaving, but they've got players that step up at big moments, and this is why I give Manchester City the edge. And there was moments in this, great tackle, understanding the game intelligent. You see him make a header late on in the game. Here, what's he doing just outside the 6-yard box? That's a centre-half. And Pep realises, I love this guy. He is my leader. Yeah. You know, and when you get players of that calibre that have been there, done it, conquered it, and then the younger players stepping up and going, I'll follow you. Yeah. You're an inspiration. And they've just got that hunger at this moment in time that will be petrifying Arsenal. Because I sat here 2 weeks ago when Arsenal had a chance to go 12 points clear. They blew it against Bournemouth. Now, I'm sitting here 10 days on, and Manchester City can go top of the Premier League. And once they get top, I tell you what, it's going to be hard to chase down.
Tom, you share a pitch with the likes of Bernardo Silva and Rodri. What's that like? What's Horrible. It like to play against players with that ability?
No, I just think playing Manchester City in the last whatever, I've been lucky enough and unlucky enough to play against them in a special era. But Bernardo Silva, for me, is someone like you look at him and you think you could be faster than him, you could be stronger than him, you possibly be fitter than him. Well, everyone on the pitch could be that, and he runs the whole game. He's got a desire, he's got a never say die attitude, like the header against Gyökeres in the box late on. He's a special footballer, and to not have them physical attributes and still run Premier League games week after every 3 days he basically plays. I think Gary Neville said to me he's played like 46, I could be wrong, 46 games a season or something for the last 9 years. Wow. At an elite level and more or less run every game. He's a special footballer. It's an honour to share the pitch with him. And yeah, he will be a huge miss to the Premier League. Mm.
I'm not sure the Burnley players will be particularly looking forward to sharing the pitch with Bernardo Silva tonight, on the night when they could be relegated. That will happen if City win tonight. Burnley would be back.
After the Carabao Cup, that they won really convincingly, I think that gave them some more belief. Mm. And then all the other matches that they played after that in the Premier League, they won that quite convincingly, even though they had to dig deep. But they won them. Mm. And then going into this match, whatever happened with the goalkeeper at 1-1, excuse me, it didn't set them back. Yeah. They went again. Even though Arsenal played really well. Mm. And there were a few moments where Arsenal were unlucky, but then still come on top. And then him seeing Declan Rice doing what he's doing, but he's using that for his players, you know, to keep on motivating, because it is far from finished. It is far from finished. But they are in a good momentum, and momentum is very important in football, very important.
And how important is it that these guys have got like the muscle memory of knowing how to chase things down, knowing how to get titles, and they haven't got any experience of this? Yeah,
but of course, he knows the feeling of how to win and how to come from behind, and the last X amount of games that they have to win them all. Mm. Yeah, he's done that before. Okay, he doesn't know that, but he can spin that, you know, and he has to spin that. Yeah. And he has to find a way of making them believe that they are still in it. And I believe that they are still in it, because Man City has got still a few really difficult matches to play. Yeah. They just have to make sure that they win their last 5 matches. If they win their last 5 matches, he should believe that he's going to be champion. Yeah. He should believe that. So that is their aim.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm going to come to you shortly, Dave, but we're going to head to Turf Moor now, because we can speak to Sani Rudravajula on this very subject. Obviously, Manchester City, Sani, I can't say very often. Quite frankly, I've been there enough to know that it's quite rainy and windy at times. Look, Jimmy, how much of a psychological advantage will they have if they get the win tonight and they go top? You know, it's been, 200 days they've sat at the top.
They'll be feeling really good. Yeah. But I think you have to strip it back. Nothing is won yet. Yes, it's getting closer to the objective, you know. And I think they should not look at the match. They should really concentrate. Arsenal, I mean, concentrate on their next match, Newcastle. We need to win that. Whatever Man City does, they do. We need to win that match and not get any goals against. We need to win that match. Man City will go on and do the business, I think, tonight. And everybody assumes that they will. You know, they can't do nothing about it, Arsenal.
Yeah.
They just have to concentrate on themselves
Yeah.
and let the others do whatever they need to do.
OK, good advice for them. OK, stay with us. Plenty more to come your way on the Premier League.